Good evening, one and all, and welcome to another edition of the full-time sports network Cop Talk. It is all about, and it's a very happy Cop Talk this week, I must say. Very, very happy. Because not only did we win 6-1, but when you see the scum get spanked, well and truly spanked. Yeah, that just rounded it off as far as I'm concerned. Stoney, how you doing, my brother?
I'm feeling wonderful. I can only reiterate what you were saying as well. A brilliant result for us against Leeds, and an absolutely wonderful evening, I believe, for Manchester United in Sevilla. So an absolutely beautiful Thursday.
Rain in Spain, they say. Good evening, Honest Con. How are we doing, sir?
Hi, yeah, I'm okay, thank you. Yeah, great weekend. Great week, actually. Great.
Lovely. Great. Absolutely splendid, I must say. Splendid. Okay, gentlemen. Let's have a look at these player ratings for this drubbing, shall we call it? Ruthless drubbing, I must say. So, Allison, talk to me. Stoney.
Oh, you want me to give him a player rating, or you're giving player ratings?
Yeah, go on, give it to me.
Oh God, I'm always so off with this. I'm gonna give Ali a 6.7.
Okay, and Con?
7.
Oh, good shout, Con. You got a 7. Couple of stops, denied a clean sheet by Konate's loss of concentration. Trent?
Oh, I'm giving Trent a 9.
Oh, okay. Con?
I've heard Con growl there, so that's good. I'm giving him a 9.
Sorry. Yeah, someone rang me. Sorry. So yeah, I'll give him a 9.
Okay. Trent got an 8. Picked up 2 assists in a much easier evening's work than he's usually had this season.
Oh, that's quite controversial.
I thought that was shocking, being that he's 2 assists. I thought it would be a 9.
Yeah, a 9. You got two assists, adapting to a new position as well. But hey,
you know what I think they're basing it on? Like they said, what the last line said, and I think that's what they're basing it on. Easier evening's work. I think that's what they're basing it on. Jay, I think they're basing it like the opposition wasn't great, so it was light work basically. Konate.
I give Ibrahim a 7.
I'll give him a 6.
He got a 6. Guilty of Liverpool's one poor moment of the night, otherwise untroubled. Virgil.
7.5.
Oh, damn. 7.5 as well, yeah.
He got a 7. Had no issue winning aerial duels and was generally solid. Robertson.
I'm going to give Robert a 7.5 as well.
I'm going to give him a 7.
He got a 7. Robust in defense and managed to break out in attack when needed. You lot ain't doing too bad. On the money still. Hendo.
I'm going to give Hendo an 8.5.
I'm going to give him 7.5.
He got a 7. Grabbed assist for Jota's second. His desire was simply too much for Leeds midfielders.
That's hard. I gave him an 8.5 because I agree with you. He got the assist. He was able to marshal that right side of midfield, and also when Trent kind of tucked in as he did against Fabinho, then he was a protection there on that right hand side with Konate. But look, It's fine anyway. That's the reason for me giving him the 8.5.
No, I hear that. And I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Fabinho.
I'm going to give Fab the same as Van Dijk and Robbo. I'm going to give him a 7.5.
I'm going to give him a 7.
Another 7. Brought down Aronson on the break for a booking. Broke up play when needed with no Leeds player strong enough to trouble him. Okay. I'm going to go to Gakpo.
You're missing out on other midfielder?
No, you're missing out.
No, listen, I said I'm going to Gakpo.
He's done it strategically. I'm actually going to give... Sorry, go ahead, Con.
No, go on.
I'm actually going to give Gakpo a 9 as well. He got a goal and an assist.
It's very hard for me because personally, I don't rate him. Even if he scored a hat trick, I don't know. It's my head ruling my heart on this one. 8.
Okay, he got an 8. Took up some great positions, drawing Koch and Strick out of and offering up space to his teammates unmarked to tap in the opener. Okay. So between Jones, Salah, and Jota, who was the man of the match?
Jota, 2 goals and assists, 9.5.
Con?
Ooh. Right, I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm going to go, it was Salah.
Okay. Right. Curtis Jones got a 9. Wonderful pass, picked out Jota. Very active in defense, making 5 successful tackles and breezed past opponents on the break. Salah, 9. Back to his clinical self, taking his Premier League tally up to 15 this season. Jota, 9. Buzzed around in midfield, went out of possession to steal possession, which he did time and time again while showing his clinical side with 2 goals. They actually, after they gave them all their marks, they actually gave Curtis Jones the man of the match.
Okay.
Right? But listen to this. BBC's ratings, Curtis was 9th on the Liverpool list.
9th in player ratings.
He was down in 9th place. Listen, they had Fabinho behind Nunes, who was a sub who came on for 9 minutes.
Wow.
I'm telling you, I was a bit surprised myself. I was quite shocked about that.
Okay.
But yeah, they gave them all the 9, but they said man of the match was Curtis Jones for them.
Right.
So, gentlemen, let me ask you something. In the first 20 minutes, what did you make of Jota's performance? Because there was a lot said, and I'm sure you must have heard Carragher's comments. Did you hear Carragher's comments, Tony?
No.
Did you hear them, Con?
No, I didn't hear them.
Okay, so well, Carragher said, I think it's after about the first 25 minutes, he said, when he get to half time, he goes, I'd actually take him away and sell him.
Wow. Okay.
That's a disrespectful to say that.
No, but hear what?
For another,
he was poor. He was abysmal. I was saying, get this guy off.
Wow.
He was poor. He was poor. All he did was every time he got the ball, he just gave it away. He gave it away every time.
It's interesting.
He never looked like doing anything. But how did you see it?
And that's to beat your football, because I mean, I know we're only focused on the first 20, 25 minutes in him playing. I think he was just trying to find his feet as well. Leeds would have started in their normal form, the formation that they have been playing under this new manager anyway. So he would have been up against, is it McKenzie that they've got on loan from Juve? McKenzie and Christensen over on that side. They have got someone called McKenzie in it from Juve. Yeah, I think he was up on that side and Christensen over on the right. I think he was just trying to find his feet as well, in terms of positioning. I don't know whether it's, and I'm just saying things here hypothetically, right? I know we've made slight adjustments to the way tactically we've actually playing. I wonder if that had an impact on him just trying to find his space as well. But look, I don't know.
To me, he hasn't, I know, how long has he been back from his injury?
Not much. Not much.
Yeah, sometimes
3-4 weeks now.
I think that, and then we had a week break, and I think maybe in his defense, let's say he might be still finding his feet still and getting to the pace of it. That's what I would use for his defense, really. Because he's not a bad player overnight. I mean, look at last year how he was. I mean, he's not a bad player. When he was in the starting lineup, I didn't really see anyone say, "Wow, I rather Nunes," or "He's rubbish." Do you know what I mean? So I think, just give him a bit of time in it.
Well, the general consensus has been in the WhatsApp groups, and that has been since he's come back in his performances, nobody don't want him to start. I've been one of those ones who've been saying, actually, keep the faith, because like you just said, he don't become a bad player overnight. And I know that he can score. Listen, in our groups, his nickname was Jota the Shotter, because he was popping off goals. But, he's been out for a long time. It does take time to come back and find your feet, for real. But then a lot of people were saying, "Nah, he doesn't look like half the player." Then they're talking about Newcastle wanting for 60 million, sell him, let him go.
But if we break this down, if we look on the whole thing, I mean, a month ago, a lot of Liverpool fans were criticising Trent. They weren't saying selling, but they was criticising him. And I mean, who out of that Liverpool team from the beginning of the season has been give a consistent performance?
Only what do you call it? Alisson for me.
Yeah, so I agree with you that.
Alisson.
Stoney?
Yeah. I agree with you. Alisson.
So yeah. Okay. We're just gonna go to big shouts goes out to Mr. Anthony Herbert. He says, big up Stoney. Mr. B is pissed, and I mean pissed. But good on Marv, he'll be all right tomorrow on tomorrow's show. Mr. B. Well, keep it together, son. Keep it together, son.
Goodness.
Big shouts goes out, Demas. Nice to have you on board again, Demas. Now he's becoming a very loyal supporter, even though he's a gunner. But yeah, nice to have you on board, Demas. And big shouts goes out to Mr. Bingy. How you doing, sir? Good to have you on board. So let's start with that first goal then. Was that a handball? And would you be upset if that goal was allowed to stand for you lot against you?
I'm just gonna put my little 2 pence in there, right? I think VAR should only be used for offsides and nothing else. So even though they're coming back and looking at whether it hit Trent's arm, I don't know what he was meant to have done in that period of time. It's weird because all of the replays they were doing in slow-mo, in real time. I don't know. That was when it went up with Trent's arm. Is that correct?
Yeah.
His forearm. Yeah.
Yeah. First goal. Yeah. First goal.
Yeah. Do you know what?
Junior
I think he did. Yeah, I think he did play it off his arm. He did play it off the lower part of his arm. But listen, we've seen crazier decisions than that. The ref was there, VAR was there. They made the game play on and we got the goal. So I'm just going to move on from that.
But would you say it was a handball though?
I don't know. I don't know whether it's me with my Liverpool head on. I'm not trying to be. If it happened against us, I don't know. Yeah. Do you know what the thing is, Artie? There's been so many crazy decisions in football this season, not just for Liverpool.
I know.
But that one wasn't even anything where I just thought anything of it. I just thought that offensively, Trent was in a good position. Yeah, his arm was up. It bounced off. We continued playing. We got the goal, and I just thought we'll just move on. And I'll just be honest. That's the way that I kind of looked on it.
Okay, Con, what did you say? How did you see it?
I saw it was handball. It was handball. Sometimes, realistically, I think when there's VAR and everything, I think the bigger clubs do get the decisions. Really, I mean, and that's what I think it was. You know, it was Liverpool v. I know some people think you're being delusional. It's all fear, but it ain't. I mean, look at the other week with Brighton and Tottenham the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, the little clubs are not getting the big decisions, and I think I'm not happy with everything what they do with VAR because they got one person in the room who makes that decision. I reckon they should have 3 people in the room, 3 referees who make that decision. Sometimes they're going to get it wrong, but believe you me, one day, say like the last game of the season, the Premiership, and a team could get relegated. Someone's told me this. This is what they predict, that there's going to be a time at the end of the season, a relegation battle, a referee's going to make the wrong decision, the team's going to get relegated, and they're going to sue.
Yeah, listen, these things have been going on for a while, man, with these poor decisions. It's been going on for a long time, and obviously they do cost teams, and this is what it comes down to.
And here's the thing.
What I would say with this one for me is referees have stopped it because of handball, but they've given the goal because it wasn't the same phase of play as what we scored from. And the same player didn't go on to score. It didn't lead directly to a goal. He played it to Salah. Salah played it back to him, and then he crossed it. Right. So that is why. I think even Bingy's put up something about it as well, to be fair. Same thing. Yeah, it wasn't in the first phase of play. and he wasn't the one to score the goal. If he did score it, then it wouldn't have counted. So that's why the goal stood.
Okay.
End of.
All I'm saying, yeah, the last bit I got to say, I think like if it was a bank with human error and that person's human error is costing 10-30 million pound human error, they would get sacked. So how is that with the football, the amount of money involved in football, there's allowed to be human error and it's just let go, really.
Do you know what it is as well with that? It's the same thing when it comes down to like grassroots and that, why they're trying to protect referees, and when they give bad decisions and people want to file complaints and whatever, that they don't get given because they can't get replacements. It's hard enough to get people out there to do the job. So imagine if they were to hammer all these people who made these bad decisions, there'd be nobody to officiate the games. What I think they need to work on,
there's a lot of money
is
riding
more
on it.
training.
Right?
That's what they need to work on, I think. And I think when a referee's made an error, they need to pull him in, sit him down, show him where he's gone wrong, and show him the error of his ways, basically. And you train them to be better people.
No, but I think sometimes as well, it's like whatever you see, because you're running and that player might have blocked you and you can't see the full extent, and they show it on different camera angles. Like I don't know if this ever happened to you. Sometimes, have you ever watched something with a VAR and you think, right, that's a handball or that's a penalty, and they show it there, and then you think, you know what, the ref got it right, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And when you've seen it first time,
even without VAR, even when they just show the replay. Sometimes you've seen a tackle, you think, oh, that's a foul, and they showed you replay in slow mo. Oh, he actually got the ball. Of course, that happens. 100%. But this is why VAR is meant to be there. To stamp out these errors. That's the whole point of VAR being there. And they've got time to watch it from different angles. So why are they getting it wrong? They're watching 4 or 5 angles, slow-mo, and you're still getting it wrong. It's not good enough, man. It's not good enough. Not good enough for me. Well, how do you feel? How do you feel about Curtis Jones then? He's getting a couple games now. He showed a bit of form. All right, everyone said it's only Leeds. Is there a future for him at the club?
I think there's going to be a future at the club for a few reasons, right? Obviously, one of which he's come for our academy. I think he was our academy under 21s captain as well, wasn't he? So he's come through. The first breakthrough season, I probably expected more of him. He did not have a good season last year. And I think even though they both play in midfield, I think when Harvey Elliott came back from his loan spell at Blackburn, he seemed to actually have surpassed Curtis Jones's development. I understand the different players, different characteristics. And as you said, Harvey's played in midfield, but I think his long-term position is probably going that right forward position where Salah's actually playing. So I think, I know Curtis Jones has had a completely different training schedule than the rest of the players this season. And I know Klopp has mentioned it in some of his press conferences, is that they have to, kind of take the time with Curtis Jones. He's played a series of games in midfield, and this one here is probably the best, in my opinion, that he's actually played. So regardless whether it was Leeds or anybody else, I think this is probably the best that he's actually played as well. I mean, he actually had an all right game against Arsenal, but he seems settled here. But for me, I'd like to see him show a level of consistency at this level, and then we see where it take it. But for him, I would prefer that he remains at Liverpool, even if it's for squad purposes, and then we'll obviously see how he develops with us.
Okay, Con, how do you see Curtis Jones then?
I was shocked when he started against Arsenal. I was thinking, what has he done in training? To be honest, I was thinking, what has he done in training to start against Arsenal? That I weren't the only person who was shocked at that. He did have a good game against Arsenal. He did have a good game against Leeds as well. I think, like what Stoney said, I think that maybe Elliott's jumped over ahead of him. He's maybe lost a bit of confidence. Maybe that talk of maybe Jude sniffing around and everything like that. He's thinking if Jude does come, he could go down in the pecking order. Maybe Liverpool's told him, listen, you're going to have to start showing you've been here a number of years now. We got faith in you. He started, so now he's got a bit of confidence. He started against Arsenal, really. I mean, and he started against Leeds as well. So maybe a bit of confidence. Let's see how it turns out for him. He might get a run for the rest of the whole of the season. So he's done all right. He's surprised me.
I think another thing is as well, which is something that we've spoken about many a times on this show, about players getting a run of games to really show what they can do. And I think this is what he needs. I think if he plays the rest of the games for the rest of the season, then I think we could say, you know what, we could make a real good judgment on this boy. Give him the rest of the games, man. Starting games, and let's see what's really going on for him. To be fair, but then you have to look and see what happens with these guys. Now Thiago's coming back. He's come on twice now. Is he going to now start because he's the more senior player? All of a sudden, then that just puts Curtis Jones back again. So you've had two good games. Will he start the next one?
I hope so.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I really do. I think it should always be on form, not just seniority. It should be on form. And if you're playing well, you come into the team, you're filling a gap for someone, and you're doing well, you're doing the biz. Keep doing it. For me, as far as I'm concerned, keep doing it, because what a pass for Jota's goal, man.
Yeah.
If Kevin De Bruyne did that for Haaland, they'd be raving about that for ages. That was a great pass. So we need somebody like that who's got that kind of vision. Definitely need that. So do we continue to play this new kind of formation then? This 4-2-2-3?
I think so. I think Klopp was saying leading up to this Leeds game, it's the first time, one of the first times this season where he was able to have the majority of the squad available and fit. I think he said they had 7 days actually training and tactical and physical development. He said that's one of the longest times that they've actually had. And, you know, as he said, it's probably going to be hard to make an assessment moving forward, but there's a lot of positives that we could have taken from this Leeds game. So it's clear that there's been a tactical adjustment to where Trent's obviously playing as well. Him, you know, probably tucking in, playing quite close to Fabinho and sometimes pushing up close to Gakpo. And it was nice, obviously, seeing Henderson play on the right side of Fabinho, almost filling in on that right side as well. I think Henderson's played really good. And that was something that we actually saw, probably 2 seasons ago. Henderson pulling over for them, whipping the balls in if Salah was playing more the inside forward. So, I mean, in terms of that, I think it's good. I would like to see us continue doing it. I think one thing that I've actually been quite critical of Klopp is making slight adjustments to how we actually play. All right, our default was a 4-3-3. We played a 4-4-2 some of the times, the 4-2-3-1. But if he's showing versatility here with the players that we've got, then I think that can only be a plus point for us.
Yeah. I feel that another reason why we're actually getting to do that, there's no Europe now, no FA Cup, no Carabao Cup. So you're not having to play the same players over and over again. Now, like you said, he's got the players back. He's got a chance. He can tinker with this. He can tinker with that. This is a good chance for him to experiment and see what people are really about.
Yeah,
I'm quite happy, to be honest. Bingy says, spot on, Artie, just like Jota, some players need a run of games to find your rhythm. You won't get it playing 1 in every 4 to 5 games. Exactly. Exactly. You need that, man. 100%. You definitely need that. And well, long may it continue, man. If the boy's playing well, keep him in the team, as far as I'm concerned.
The only thing what I would say about the formation, I'm happy with it, but I think sometimes, like what Stoney said, he did stick with his 4-3-3. That was the majority of the time. But I think sometimes with Liverpool, if things are going wrong, there was never sort of like a plan B.
Yeah.
There was never a sort of like a plan B, whether it is because the other team sat down in training all week and they analysed Liverpool played this formation. sometimes when things are going wrong, catch the other team out. Let the other manager do a thing. You know, that's what I believe anyway. 'Cause there was never a plan B sometimes when things were going wrong.
Okay. Well, I agree with that, and we've said that quite a few times. You know what I mean, about a plan B, or just basically changing shape for certain games and playing a different formation for certain games. Do you think that we've got what we've got there, the players to play a lot of other formations?
Yeah, I think so. I think even if we just think of the offensive players, and we've got quite a lot all coming back into play at the moment, all right? I think Jota's probably shown that he can play anywhere across the top line. Gakpo, at his previous club at PSV, I think he was primarily played as the left forward.
Yeah.
But now for Liverpool, we're playing him centrally. And I think even Ruud van Nistelrooy kind of had the question mark around that, saying that wasn't really a position that he was accustomed to. He seemed to flourish there. I think with Darwin Núñez, when we bought him, he was playing centrally. However, at his previous club, he was playing on the left-hand side. So that shows another level of versatility with Darwin Núñez. I mean, we've got Luis Diaz that also plays on the left. Who knows? He may well be in a position where he's playing in a different position offensively. Salah primarily plays right, but we've obviously seen him play centrally, especially if we played the 4-2-3-1. So I think that's worked for him as well. And Thiago can play anywhere in the middle as well to an extent. But yeah, I think so. And as he said, I think the good thing there is what we've probably shown with that slight adjustment to the formation is if we do need to slip in and play with the three at the back for periods of the game, Konate showed his versatility by pushing over towards the right. And if anything, when you check it, that means Robbo's playing centrally, but on the left-hand side as well, in the back three. So that's showing a level of versatility. So, yeah, I like seeing slight changes as well. It's good.
I love to see that, man. I love to see them tweaks. Con, what do you reckon? You reckon we've got the players to do that?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I know it's maybe football sort of changed, but me being my old dinosaur, I wouldn't mind 3-5-2 with Robbo and Trent as the wing backs actually. And
who's your three central? Who's your three in the centre backs?
Van Dijk, Konate, and Matic.
You see, my only concern with that, and you are right, Con. I think my only concern would be if one of those three at any given time, either during the game, got injured, then who would possibly be the fourth defender to come in and join them?
Nat Phillips. Nat Phillips.
No.
Or Gomez.
Gomez, not Matt. Matt Phillips hasn't got the pace. I think he's very slow.
Well, we've spoken about that. You don't need pace if you can read the game, bro.
But he can't read the game, though.
That's harsh.
He can read the match program.
All right, I'll tell you what, he can't read. Yeah, I mean,
subs.
Like, look at, Liverpool's beating teams 5-0, whatever. Liverpool's beating teams, and you'd think that Liverpool, like, give them the last 10 minutes and all that. Even Liverpool's 10-0, Klopp's even not even thinking to bring him on. Yeah. So he's not really fit. To me, that just shows you not really thinking him of first team. He's a squad player, not a first team. Sort of
no, we know he's a what do you call it? But all right, then we're saying that.
I'm not saying all the time.
When we had no centre halves and he had to step in. No one ain't telling me that he didn't do the business.
No, it's true.
But you know what? I'm not saying that I rate him above them other defenders, but you know one thing I like about him? He's different from all them other defenders because he reminds me of them old school defenders who will put his head in where their man are flinging their boots. He's one of them ones that fling his body in front of everything. That's what I do like them kind of players, and I think they complement the other players because when you look at it, like Van Dijk's that silky ball kind of playing player, and you want that other guy beside you who's going to do that dirty work.
When I said that,
it would work. And right now, Matip is not in form.
No.
was saying that formation, I weren't saying like every game style. I'm just thinking
Let's try it.
sometimes, yeah, just try it against some team and surprise the other team.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah, Matip for me right now. Bye, mate. In the summer, see you later. Yeah, he's another one. He's got to go. 100%. He's got to go. Did you see?
That's a bit harsh, really.
What, Matip?
Yeah.
Go on, listen. Don't start moving like Klopp with this sentiment and loyalty thing. Yeah.
No. I'll tell you what. It's a bit harsh. I mean, how many last 3 games when is he? It's not like. If you look from the beginning of the season, he hasn't done as bad. He hasn't done anyone as worse as anyone else. Maybe the last couple of games he's been off. He's been off the boil, but he hasn't been like that from August, has he?
Because he hasn't been fit. From August, that's why.
No, I think you're being a bit.
That's another reason, bro. Listen, his form's dipping. He's going to be 32, and you know what I mean. He needs to go now. We do this too much. We hold on to players too much, bro. Let it go. And then next thing you know, what happens is then we're letting them go on a free. Nah.
If you're gonna have that, if you're gonna mention Milner and Henderson, they got to go as well. Then
I'm not disputing that.
Okay.
I'm not disputing that. But Matip for me, it's a no from me. It's a no from me. At least Milner's fit. And you can call him. You can call him basically every game. You can't do that with Matip.
I mean, sometimes it's about giving people a long chance. Because when we bought Henderson in, I think in 2011, 2012, I was just thinking, what the hell's going on here? There was times, and remember, there was a story that Liverpool tried to sell him to another club and didn't work out. I mean, who would have thought that he would win the Premiership as the captain and what Liverpool's achieved? Like last year, he nearly won 4 trophies as captain. Who would have seen that?
Sure.
Yeah. So what's your point?
I'm just saying. Sometimes know what you're saying about what we say. Sometimes as fans we're impatient, including myself.
No. You were talking about when he first come. Matip's been here, bro. He's coming to the other end. That's a massive difference. Yeah, he's coming to the other end now.
I think Liverpool last year, when we after last year, that was because it was a World Cup year. That was a great opportunity to get the players who we didn't want to get, because that would have forced them to go, because they would have wanted to play in the World Cup. We missed the boat out. I mean, how many players are leaving? Kante leaving free. Bobby leaving on a free. Who else is leaving on a free? There's another one.
Ox.
Yeah.
And Ox. I mean, and that just annoys me. That money is you're letting them go on a free. You should have got rid of them last year. Minimum between all 3 of them could have got 30 to 40 million.
And if Edwards was there, we would have got that as well, Carl.
I'm telling you.
We would definitely have got that.
Okay, hold on a minute now. So let's look at it like this now. So Firmino, Milner. These are people who probably might be leaving, yeah? Firmino, Milner, Ox, Keita, Carvalho, Kelleher, Nat Phillips, Matip, Melo is going to be going. Reece Williams, Tsimikas has been linked with other clubs as well. Leighton Clarkson, Tyler Morton, Connor Bradley. 14 players.
Can I ask a question?
And how much money do you think we're going to be getting back?
Yeah. But I mean, Carvalho, I've heard of that. What I don't understand the backstory of him. That's the shock out of all of them for me.
Who?
Carvalho.
I hope that's not true, because the thing is, we were actually patient with that signing from Fulham. I think we ended up waiting to obviously get him in a free, and we still had to pay Fulham some money there as well.
About 7 million or something like that.
Yeah, and you know, I think he actually showed really good promise at Fulham. He was one of the main players that provided the majority of the assists for Mitrovic actually scoring. And I know there's a massive transition from the Championship to the Premiership. I was absolutely delighted.
I remember.
Yeah, when we were linked and we were actually
remember.
So
it was because of you I started watching him properly.
Yeah, if he goes even out on loan, I will be quite disheartened. And that is the honest truth.
Okay, but it says, as such, the Reds will keep an open mind with nothing yet set in stone that applies to Carvalho, who has been linked with a move away in the summer, having featured for just 5 Premier League minutes since appearing in 10 of the first 11 top flight games. A loan departure is not out of the question.
No,
I want to see this guy because he's the kind of guy that we don't have in our team.
Yeah.
And I'm saying we've got this guy on the bench. But what is it like you said, Con? What has Thing been doing in training? Well, what has Carvalho not been doing in training then that he can't get a game?
You know, you're right there. I mean, even against Man United, I remember Man United 6-0 up, 73 minutes, and he was on the bench, and Klopp brought on Milner. And I was thinking, Calario's on the bench. Why don't you bring him on? We're 6-0 up. And Klopp, for whatever reason, didn't bring him on. I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, it's got to be disheartening for a player as well, man. And you know what? He wants to play football, man.
Yeah.
You know, you've been like the main guy in the team. You've been in you're starting every game. You're performing, and then you just have to come and sit down and hold bench.
Do you think that Liverpool maybe should have... Right, because when he was at Fulham, he was in the lower division. When the Fulham came to the Premiership, do you think Liverpool maybe should have just loaned him out to Fulham for a Premiership season?
No.
1 year?
No.
Okay.
No. I wonder. You guys will probably know this way better than me as well. We purchased Carvalho, but when he came for us, was that the same season that we ended up getting Luis Diaz at around the Christmas time? Because at Fulham, he played the 4-2-3 when that means he played on the left-hand side of the midfield, or he played in the attacking position just behind Mitrovic.
Yeah,
and if Fulham played the 4-3-3, then he played on the top left offensive position where currently Jota played and where Luis Diaz played. So I wonder with Luis Diaz coming in and him being more an advanced position, that may have then hindered the amount of game time that Carvalho has obviously ended up getting. I don't know, but...
Well, if that's the case for me, you know what? Then you know what? Loan him out. Don't sell him.
Yeah.
Loan him out. See how he performs.
Yeah.
And then you can make a decision from there. Because I don't care what anybody says. Even if we were to sell him, we're going to make a profit. We'll make a profit on him. Yeah. There's no two ways about it.
No, you're right. We did do it that way. We bought them both in January. Diaz came in January, and we loaned him back to Fulham, didn't we?
Yeah. Okay. I thought
in January. So that's what we've done.
Right.
So like for me, a team probably like right, and one of them teams could have done with a player like him. Probably would have taken him on loan. Give him some game time, and let's see what's happening in the Prem. Because I'm not going to loan him back to the Championship. I want him to play in the Prem.
But here's the worrying thing: with Diaz being out for so long, you would have thought that he would have got that spot.
That's true.
He would have a run out in that spot because remember Diaz has been injured for a long time, so you would have thought he would have had a chance in that spot. Like
it was Nunes. They played Nunes on the left.
Yeah, you're right. Because
but there's been times when Nunes has been injured as well, hasn't there? And he still hasn't. And
that's because by then Jota was back. And once again, it's seniority again, isn't it?
Yeah, that's but I think either way, I think it's important we do keep him. If he does go out if things don't work out for him, I agree with you, Artie, and he does go on loan, let him go to a progressive team that actually play offensive football. I'm just only giving an example here. Probably somewhere like how Vincent Kompany has got Burnley playing where they actually play offensive football. I'm only just giving an example, the style that the manager's been playing.
That's a great shout. That is a great shout for me. Great shout. And they would definitely be looking at players to take in on loan because like we said, he's got about 4 or 5 players on loan.
Yeah.
And obviously they've done well. Don't know if they're going to be able to hold on to them when he comes up. So he's going to be looking for new loans because obviously they ain't got the funds like everybody else. That's a great shout, and I think that's a good coach to have as well.
I don't think he'll be there to come at the beginning of the season. Company, I think that someone's going to snap him up.
Do you think he's going to go that quick on?
Yeah, I think someone's going to take a gamble on him.
Okay.
I mean, he's played in the Premiership. He's played an amount of games in the Premiership. He's shot people with Burnley, and I just think we all know between now and the end of the season, there's going to be more sackings in Europe, and someone's gonna take a punt on him.
Yeah, but you know what? All right, so we're talking about Chelsea, Tottenham, are the main two big ones. Who are looking for a manager? Other than that, you're going to be talking probably maybe about West Ham. They might get rid of him. Southampton.
No, but you're talking about in England. I'm talking the whole of Europe. Someone might think.
Oh, in Europe?
You know, so yeah, I'm talking in Europe. Someone else might. I'm not going to name all the because I don't know all the managers in Europe, but someone could get relegated or something, and sack a manager and think, you know what, he can speak different languages. Do you know what? We like his style of his philosophy, how he's playing football. We're going to give him a punt.
I don't know. You know,
we all know.
I think he's actually
only at Burnley
looking forward to testing himself in the Prem.
I think he's but I just think that he's got money as well. I mean, we all know Burnley's just a stepping stone for him. It's just a matter of time, and I just think someone's going to look at that and think to themselves, we don't have him, someone else is going to have him. So I think in Europe or maybe in this country, but I think someone else is going to take him. I'm willing to bet £10 on that.
A whole tenner, flipping Econ, pushing the boat out in you.
The last time I made a bet on this show with RT, I lost heavily. So I'm just listening to this conversation. I'm not getting involved.
I like that you learn your lessons, though. I like that. That is a good one. You learn your lessons. So yeah, they're talking about Kate are probably getting back to Germany. Kelleher. But the thing is with that, we're saying that Adrian's probably on his way out.
Yeah, that's correct.
We're not really going to want to have to lose two keepers. And I would be very disappointed to lose someone of Kelleher's caliber.
I know he wants first team football. I mean, even if
I hear that.
Yeah.
But
and it's tricky because he's good enough to be playing first team football.
Yeah.
But I'm being selfish. I don't want him going anywhere else.
No. And definitely not in the Prem.
No.
Good evening, Mr. VW, man. Nice to have you on board again, sir. How you doing? Bingy says, Company ain't getting abroad. I'll bet we've gone. He wants to manage in the best league. That's how I feel. All right, then look, we'll sanctify that bet, yeah?
Yeah, all right, then me and Bingy.
All right, Bingy, you hear that, yeah? That bet's on.
I don't want these South London boys to pay me a year, you know.
Wow. VW said Kelleher's gone.
Oh, wow.
He reckons he's gone. So yeah, that's what they say. They reckon his mind's made up, to be honest. Okay, right. Bingy's agreed that, yeah? Good. By the way, we're gonna get back to Liverpool, lads, yeah? Bingy, yeah? We know this. He says he'll pay out in Bitcoin. Yeah. See these South brothers,
I'll pay him out in some Morley vouchers, actually.
Another one I'm a little bit surprised about because for me he's a decent backup is Tsimikas.
I hadn't heard about this story about that, but what is he looking for a move away as well?
No, well they reckon that he's been linked with potential suitors in the recent weeks.
I think you see, even with these players that wish to depart, whether it's on loan or for permanent ways away, it's thinning our squad. And if we are going to be in a position of trying to fight on as much fronts for next season, I want us to have the strongest squad available, and Simicast is one of the players that I'd love for us to be able to retain.
Definitely.
I hope that's not sincere with him moving away. And if anything as well, I think he's obviously shown when Robinson hasn't actually played at left back, he's actually been like steady as well.
Yeah.
So, but you're right, it's a hard one. He's obviously playing in to himself. He's obviously saying he's good enough to be playing regular football. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, I just hope that he remains at our club anyway. I do.
I wouldn't want him to go anyway.
I want him to go.
Okay.
So you want him to go, you say?
Yeah, I don't trust him.
No?
No.
The Greek Scouser.
What is it that you have reservations about, Con?
Who did you say again?
The Greek Scouser. Simicast.
Yeah. I don't trust him, man.
Okay.
What don't you trust?
I just don't trust his tackling, his football decisions. I just don't trust him.
Okay, that's fair enough.
All right.
Fair enough. I think it would be
players, when Liverpool playing, you think, oh no, man, I'll have a Milner. Yeah.
Oh right. Wow. And that's once again that's to beat your football, because when he plays, I just think, well, fine. It's just Robbo with his hair pulled back like Darwin Núñez. So I'm just calm on that side. But
he just knew that his little brother.
Yeah. Okay. That's
and another set, lads. We're meant to be. Don't know what's going on with I have to say our academy then, because they're talking about players like Reece Williams, Leighton Clarkson, Tyler Morton, and Connor Bradley. So Leighton Clarkson has performed well at Aberdeen. Fellow midfielder Tyler Morton likewise with Blackburn Rovers, while Connor Bradley won the Papa John's Trophy with Bolton Wanderers at Wembley earlier this month. And all these players are players that could be going.
Well, I mean, if they're all going to actually go out on loan, then so be it. What I wouldn't want us to do is, and I'm only giving an example of this player, I know that their pathway has actually changed since they did depart, but I don't want it to be a situation where you got someone like Ryan Brewster who came through our young position, had a good contract, possibly should have remained, or if he did go, went out on loan, but ended up being sold. You know, just kind of keep these players to give them an opportunity. We spend all of that money. We've got new training ground facilities. Where we've got our young players actually training with the first team as well. I mean, it's not like we're flush with money at the club. If we're spending all that money developing the players, put them out on loan if that's the case. But I think we should retain them. We're not like a Chelsea. We ain't got like 1 million players where we can actually be doing that. And my other concern, going back to something Con mentioned earlier, it's not like if those players actually get sold that we're going to be getting top dollar. Edwards ain't there no more. The likes of us getting £15 million for like players like Wilson and stuff like that when they went all. How much money do we get for Slanky? Like, you know what I mean? That's impossible.
Jordan Ive was the killer, bro.
Yeah, that's impossible to get anymore. How on earth that man managed to get that type volume for some of those players?
But the thing is with these guys that we're talking about, they are already out on loan. So what they're reporting now is that they'll be looking to leave permanently.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because they're all out on loan now, but they're talking about them leaving permanently.
Yeah, but Stoney, I think what they might do, someone is valued at 13 million. Yeah. They might just sell him for 18, 20 and just say, right, next sell-on price we get 25%. Maybe that's into play. I'm just speculating on that, actually.
Right. Okay.
I hope so, but none of them players there ain't worth 30 million. None of them.
We'd be pushed for that. Wow.
We'd be lucky to get 30 million for the lot.
But look, this whole thing about money. I mean, last week I saw the picture of Southampton's starting 11. I think it cost 52 million. Okay, there is players out there. We don't necessarily need to spend 40 million, £50 on one player. There is players out there.
I agree.
We all have to be right. Look how where Brighton is. Brighton's had the most shots in goal since the new year, and the most this and the most that, and their squad only costs 52 million.
And Con, you're right.
Players out there, get the scouts out there, even take the gamble out there. I mean,
hold on, is he talking about Southampton?
No, he's talking about Brighton.
Brighton, sorry.
Oh,
I mean,
Brighton. I was going to say, because the Southampton's not a good example, bro.
No. I mean, Brighton. I mean, look at Mahrez from Leicester. 400 grand they paid for him.
But you know what the difference
You know?
is? Tabrice has mentioned it on previous shows, and Preds have mentioned it on previous shows exactly what you just said, Con. And I agree with all three of you, right? I think the difference would be that's the model of those clubs. Historically, Liverpool haven't done that. If it's something where they're going to change the way in which we scout and purchase on our players, then I would relish that, bearing in mind that maybe whatever our spending power is not going to be at the level that we want it to be. So I reiterate, if we are going to start scouting and purchasing players in the model of Brighton, let's embrace that. I just don't envisage it. I can't see it. I can't. They've got some wonderful gems there.
Okay, but there was a period when that people used to take the mickey out of Liverpool because Brighton used to pick up Southampton I mean now used to pick up the players cheap, and Liverpool got Alan Lallana, Ricky Lambert, and then Liverpool's paying more or less top dollar for it. You know, so.
But I agree. We need to do what Brighton's doing, or better still, we need to do what Benfica are doing.
You know what we need to do? Just go. You know what Liverpool need to do? Just go to Brighton's scout and say, you know what, we'll double your wages. That's the start, man. Take all their scouts.
Or Benfica's scouts, because Benfica do it nice as well.
Yeah, they do. They do. But it's something that we need to look at, though, for real.
Yeah.
I think we should have a nice mixture. I think every season, at least, we should make a nice marquee signing along with a couple others to go along and bring them through. But my thing is, I would love to see more players coming through the academy.
Here's a question for you guys. Do you think if Liverpool had a chance at the end of the season to buy back Mane, yes or no?
No.
Would you have him back?
No.
Stoney?
I don't know, pair punching other people's lips.
Yeah, you understand?
No, really, no. I would say no. I think I'm one of these. I know I've mentioned it on previous shows. Players come and go. Once they're at Liverpool, all I wanted to do is just be professional, play to the best of their level, and make us win silverware. Once they move on, then I embrace it. As long as they don't try and belittle our club when they move on. But once they move on, they're there for a project, a lot of those players. So once they've left, let them move on, and I wish them all the best. But no, I'm not into players going and come back. I know we've done it in the past, probably like with Fowler, stuff like that. Some legends.
Rush.
Yeah, but once they're gone, Con, let them go there. I don't want them coming back.
I don't want these guys who are coming back on the decline as well.
Yeah. I don't want them coming back at all. If they come back, it's just for playing friendlies or raising money for charity. But no, not coming back.
Bingy says, agreed, Con, because our scouts ain't cutting it. All they seem to find is injury-prone players.
Yeah. 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 That's true. Actually.
He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong right now. He ain't wrong. I'm telling you, he ain't wrong. So, what do you see now, gentlemen, after this Leeds game? How do we need to keep this momentum now? Because we're looking at
Forest,
our next home fixtures: Forest, Spurs, Fulham, Brentford, and Villa, and then away we have West Ham, Leicester, and Southampton.
It just goes back to... No, sorry, go ahead, Con. Go ahead.
No, go on, Stoney.
I think it goes back to what you mentioned before, RT. We're out of the other competitions now. No international games for now. Liverpool are going to have the time to actually train, extend on their knowledge on this new tactical approach that Klopp is asking us to do as well. More players coming back, getting match fitness. I just want us to remain playing as we are. The momentum's there. I think if we change, it will be disheartening. As he said, we played at home, our home record's well. So we played in that new adjusted system at home against Arsenal. And then we played in the same system away from home and actually got a victory as well. Regardless of whether it was Leeds, we still managed to put in that same performance, get a victory away from home. So I just want us to continue in this same rich vein of form. Don't change anything.
Okay. I'd have some of that. Con, what was you going to say?
No, I was going to say what you're saying is about the rest of the end of the season. Believe it or not, we might get in Europe by a miracle, but if we don't get in,
Well, hold on. In what part of Europe, though?
I don't think. Well, I don't think we're going to get Champions League, but I
Oh.
think even if Liverpool don't get into Europe altogether, I don't think maybe that's not a bad thing. We could have a year out and have a reset ourselves. We've done that before, and we come back better.
Yeah.
So Bingy says, if we continue to play how we are now, we should win them all. Only Brentford I see as a tricky one. Even they're a little bit off the boil now, to be honest.
They're really safe now.
I think Aston Villa's a tricky one.
You're damn straight they
record. They got the best record after Arsenal and Man City.
When you look at it, this game, we had 74% possession to their 26. Both teams had 13 shots. We had 7 on target. They had 3. 7 on target, scored 6. It's not bad. That's 90% ratio. Not bad.
Yeah, can I say something though about that game with Leeds though? I think Leeds at the beginning, Leeds was like, if Leeds started the game how they came out the second half, I think it could have been a total different. The scoreline could have been completely different. I mean, Leeds was so shocking that first half. In the second half, they tried to press Liverpool and everything, but it was just too late because Liverpool players were confident and everything. But I'm not going to read too much into it, even winning 6-0, to tell the truth.
Yeah.
6-1.
6-1, yeah.
Yeah, they had more corners than us, though, as well, to be fair. But I like that ratio, man. 7 on target, 6 goals. We need more like that.
Yeah, it's clinical, man.
I'm telling you, definitely need more like that.
It's clinical.
So, do you see us getting European football next season, Stoney?
I really agree with Con, and I know I've mentioned it in a few of the other forums and discussions that I've had with Liverpool supporters as well. We are not getting into the Champions League. So right off Europe, let us just build, just focus on the league for next season, and then we'll just bounce back stronger. So yeah, we're not getting in the top 4. Do not want to enter this European Conference Cup at all. I don't think it's going to do any good for us. I hope West Ham go and end up winning it for this season, or all the best for them. But yeah, not getting into Champions League, so no Europe for us. That's just my opinion, but I agree with you on that, Con.
Why don't you want to play it though?
But there's no need for it. Nah, I don't. I just think we need a soft reset. So forget about Europe.
I'll tell you.
Those Thursday night songs people singing in my ears. That's craziness. Listen, I know it's an opportunity.
That though. Forget that. You know what? It still generates money.
Yeah.
For the club, and it's another option to give players game time.
Our squad's not even big enough to even be thinking about that. Even if you think of an example here, RT, which you were mentioning, I know it's all hypothetical, all right? And headlines. Could you imagine if those 14 players that you've actually just mentioned actually depart, right? How more than depleted our squad are going to be going into next season. And if we are successful being in the position for European qualification, goodness gracious, that's something that I really don't want to see. So that's the only reason why as well.
But we have to really seriously, on a serious note, I'm not saying we're going to miss Keita or Ox, how they don't play anyway. Melo, I think he played about 7 minutes or 15 minutes of one game.
Yeah,
he won't be. Nat Phillips doesn't play. All right, Joe Matip, obviously, because he's played a few games. Kelleher has been on the bench. Carvalho don't get no game time.
True. So it might be an opportunity for them to be playing in the European games.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And man like Tsimikas, that might be another chance for him to get game time. You rest the Robbo and them lot for the league, and give these lot the guys these other games to go and play.
True.
and put themselves out there. But in saying that, even if we do get rid of some of them guys, we have to be bringing in adequate replacements.
Yeah.
And I don't believe if we get rid of 14, I don't believe we're bringing 14. But we got to be looking to bring in 5 or 6.
Yeah. And I think what will probably work to our advantage, I know it's going to be in the same position for all of the other Premiership teams, but I'm just speaking about Liverpool. There's no major tournament happening this summer. So if Liverpool are hopefully have players that we're going to purchase, hopefully we purchase them early. So at least they're going to have a proper pre-season with us. That's what I'm hoping anyway.
Yep, definitely. 100%. Get them in there, get them used to it, get them training with the players, get them familiar with the lads. Yeah, definitely. Oh, boy. To be fair, most of them players, I won't mind them gone, to be fair. The only thing that's upsetting me is that we're not getting nothing for most of them.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's upsetting me.
But who's right then? With that statement, whose fault is that, though, Artie?
That's management's fault, isn't it? Loyalty. Loyalty once again to these players. You've surely got to see. Everybody else has seen it. How injury prone Kate has been. It's been like, should I cut your losses, man? Cut your losses, even if it was a case of you got like 15 mil for him. It's better than what you're going to get now.
Yeah. Or 10 million and he plays 30 games and they get the rest. You're right.
Or even if you use them as part of a deal you gave him and plus some dough to get somebody else in. But now he's gonna walk away on a free after just collecting wages.
Since Klopp's been under Klopp's umbrella, it's happened too much. I mean, it needs to stop happening. If he doesn't rate someone, or after 18 months, if they got 18 months or 12 months in their contract, force them to come out. I mean, put them in the reserves, do whatever you got to do so they can leave and generate that money. Because if you've got that money, you can get better players. I mean, I don't know. We'll never know the truth about Bellingham. It's meant to be like Liverpool spend all that money. But I mean, between Ox and Keita and Bobby going, that could have been a quarter of the money towards his transfer. But we're letting it go. So Liverpool's got to stop that happening ever again. That vast amount of money.
Very true. Very true. I reckon if we'd have got rid of them about a season ago or so, we could have got, for the period, and we could have probably got about 30 million.
Yeah, I mean, look at the Origi one. I mean, if Liverpool sold Origi last year, I mean, instead of letting him go on the free when we had nearly 7 strikers, that money we could have maybe, I'm sorry to say it again, but could have maybe kept Mane, and that could have been towards Mane's salary.
Yeah, it's true. I agree.
Or done something else. Then, all right. I'm not going to keep on say about Mane. It could have just done something else, you know. But we have to remember as well that, like I said it before, these owners, they're not there. It's not like they're in America and they think one day, oh, I want to run a soccer club and everything. They are there to run Liverpool as a business.
Yeah.
They have to pay back the people back their money or investment, or I mean, the money what they spent on Nunes, they're going to have to pay that back, or wherever they got that money from. I mean, I always brought up, and I always believed that these football clubs had loads of money. And when COVID come in, I was thinking Liverpool's thinking of furloughing players. I was thinking, I thought Liverpool's got money, but maybe they have got money. They would still want to use their money, but it really put a spotlight on these football clubs. How much money they really are they playing Peter to pay Paul?
That's so true. Yeah.
So sorry to go off the subject a bit.
No, but it's true. That's a good statement. It's good. It's good.
No,
You're correct.
It is a good statement for real, definitely. But yeah, the thing that bugs me though is when I'm hearing that they're spending like $100 and something on like a baseball player in the States.
But you think how big baseball is, and
they're Red Sox. I'm just like, Yo, so what's going on?
Mm.
Why can't you celebrate that change over here?
I know, but when you think of America, I mean, look, what's the population of America, and baseball's nothing to us over here, but I think it's really big business. I don't know.
No, it is. It's massive.
It's massive. So it's just like, but obviously they're American businessmen. They might even like have more passion for baseball than soccer.
True.
And then I think about it is, and you think of like those guys who do own Liverpool. When you're thinking Man City, Chelsea, now Newcastle's got a bit of money now. Yeah, we achieved stuff and everything like that, but it was very crucial of what's his name? Who went to Barcelona, that money buying Van Dijk and yeah, because if he didn't go, I just don't see a lot of things happening. It just changed, sliding door moment, you know.
No, of course he did.
I don't think Liverpool
that was a great investment money for us.
Yeah, and they see, and then people forget about that. I mean, most chairmen, that kind of money what he had, most chairmen, well, if I was a chairman, definitely I would have said, you know what, you're not going to spend the whole 140. You can have half. But the board backed him.
And it
spend it
dividends,
on two players. Pardon?
But it was worth it in the end.
Yeah, I know, but it was just all a gamble. But if I was a chairman, I would have said you could have half. And for two players, Liverpool, they said they gave the green light to go and get two players, especially a defender as well.
So what you're saying basically is, if you was chairman of Liverpool, we wouldn't have been where we are then.
Nah,
you would have messed us up, bro.
You would have been keeper defender, not both. It's a business I'm running, isn't it?
You see? You see? That's why you are where you are, bro. And that's why they're at where they're at.
Oh, God.
But it's a gamble.
I think you've missed that part of the conversation, man. We just spoke about that. And we're talking about, we'll probably end up getting Conference League football, but Stoney and that said they don't want it. But we said, we won't get.
No, don't want it. I'm not really fussed. Do you know what I mean? I want it. Of course, I want it, but it's not detrimental. It's not like I'm going to get upset. If we get it, we get it. I don't mind resetting.
I don't mind us getting it. Like I said, I don't mind. Thank you very much for that, Anthony. I like that. Yep, you're right. Like, share, and subscribe, peoples. Anyway, so next game up, gents. What's going to happen next game up? How are we going to do next game up? Because these boys are scrapping for their lives now.
I'm embarrassed to tell you. Where's the game being played?
Anfield.
Yeah,
we're playing at home.
It's a host.
That's 3 points, man. That's 3 points for us.
Yeah.
I do rate Johnson though. I do rate him.
Yeah, I like him. I like him as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Good young player, mate. Good young player.
Yeah. But yeah, same result. We're back at home. Hopefully we can put in the same performance that we've played our last game at home against Arsenal. Same type energy and belief that we played against Leeds. And I'm confident that we'll get a result against Nottingham Forest.
Okay. And last thing before we go, lads. Just going to ask you a quick one before we go. So the likes of like Southampton, Leicester, and that are down there, and Forest and that, they get relegated. There's a couple little gems down there that we might be able to get on for some cheap money. Who would you take from them teams?
Okay, so who's out there? If we're talking,
let's talk Leicester first. So, all right, let's
Southampton, Leicester, Forest. Let's say.
Right. What you tell us what team first.
All right, Southampton.
Go on then, Con, while I'm trying to think of who plays for Southampton.
Oh my God, I've forgotten who.
Reese's Bridgen plays for them.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Oh yeah, okay. So that would be somebody that Therese will be happy at. Who else plays for them?
Hold it. When I in this group, when someone said they wanted James, I'm sure it was Therese. He wanted James Prowse, didn't he?
He did.
Oi! JWP on this show, bro. You're not allowed to say the name. JWP. You've been warned.
Okay.
I'll tell you who dipped. I don't know. Just correct me as well, right? Because I don't know whether they ended up buying him. He hasn't had a good season this year, but last year was good. Remember, I God, I don't know whether he was on loan from Southampton. Was it Livramento, that defender? Did he used to
Yeah.
play for Chelsea?
I know you're talking about Liverpool. I can't remember who he used to play
Defender.
for.
I don't know
You're
what's
right.
happened. I don't know what's happened to him, whether he's been playing or whether he's injured. But he was all right for Southampton.
Do you know who someone else mentioned? But I don't think you lot will bring up for Southampton. Lavia.
Oh, the midfielder. He's
Midfielder.
he's from Belgium.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know too much about him. I just know that
People
he's
have
Belgian.
put his name up.
Oh, okay.
Right, I'm going to go with Southampton as a backup. Carl Walker-Peters.
Yeah, that was mentioned. That was mentioned, I think, last week.
Oh, the right back. That didn't even cross my mind, actually. You know.
No, what do you mean that was mentioned last week, Stoney?
Was it? Oh.
Yeah, it was mentioned last week. We mentioned him.
Okay. All right.
Anthony, did you not get the memo?
He used to play for Tottenham, didn't he?
He has to come down as JWP. You're not allowed to say his name on this show.
Right.
And for Leicester.
Yeah, for Leicester.
See, it's a strange one. At the beginning of the season, I liked Tielemans, but for some reason he seemed to have gone off the boil a bit. All right, Tielemans. Is Tielemans signed a new contract?
No, this is leaving. You can get him on a free.
I think have him. Yeah, I'd have him.
Why not?
Yeah,
I'll take him on a free.
From Leicester. From Leicester, I would probably take the defender. Is his name James Justin, the defender for Leicester?
Yes.
James Justin. I'll probably take James Justin. And you know what? For a squad player, I'd take Harvey Barnes, you know.
Harvey Barnes can do bits, bro.
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes can do bits.
Take Harvey Barnes. Nobody would want Maddison?
No.
No.
He's out on Maddison for me. I don't know, man. I don't know.
I still don't know either.
I think it's the English press who just rave about him more than anyone else.
Decent player, but I don't think he's all of that. That's what I don't think he's all of that. Do you know who's another player down at Leicester who was doing really well before they got injured? They've only just come back. Pereira.
Yes.
Pereira.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the guy that used to play for Newcastle?
Fullback.
Oh, I don't know him. Oh, no. Yes, you're right. Yes.
Come on, bro.
Yes.
Before he got injured, he was doing bits. Solid defender. Solid. And he could get forward. He's only just started coming back now.
I forgot about that.
What about Nottingham Forest? Well, obviously.
Anthony, hold on.
That's massive.
Anthony Hibbert, he's saying Tielemans or Maddison and Barnes as well. He agrees,
yeah.
As far as Forest goes, he's now League Two players. I would take a punt on Johnson though.
I'll take Johnson, and I'd go for Henderson as well.
The goalie.
There's Henderson on loan. I know Henderson's on loan though, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's on loan.
You see the thing with Johnson, amazing player, but he'll probably end up fitting in the same category as Carvalho that would purchase him. But offensively, we've already got lots of midfielders.
Yeah.
Forest's squad's massive. I think if it was, and we're looking at squad players, I'd take is it Morgan Gibbs, or have I got his name the wrong way around? The midfielder.
Yeah.
Is it Morgan Gibbs' name?
Gibbs White.
Yeah.
Alex Gibson.
Who's that?
Are you talking about Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, is it Morgan Gibbs White? I think his name
is White.
No, I think Alex Gibson Hamilton. I'm looking on their squad now.
What? Oh. No, it's Morgan Gibbs White, bro.
I'm sure he's.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. That's who I'd probably take from Forest, because I'm trying to think of
what we need.
So I think we'd probably need midfielders. So I'd probably go for him. And I must admit, the squad is so big. I don't know all the other players. You wouldn't take Navas on loan because he's going to be leaving there. So we'd need another goalie, wouldn't we, if Adrian goes?
Yeah, we will. We will. Anthony Herbert seems to think that it's going to be Southampton, Forest, and Everton that go down.
Listen,
if it meant that close.
Yeah. If it meant Liverpool, right? If it meant Liverpool don't get Champions League, I'd rather Everton get relegated. You know that?
Oh my god.
I'd rather Everton get relegated. Seriously. If it meant to go the last game of the season, Liverpool had to win. Say Liverpool had to play Southampton, for argument's sake, and I'd rather Liverpool lose the game so Everton got relegated. Yeah, man.
They would be in turmoil if Everton were to get. I didn't even realize they were that so close to getting relegated. If they were, they would be in serious financial difficulty.
They're in financial difficulty now. All that money they spent. I mean, all that money they spent. The players not even worth not even a quarter of it. I mean, what's his name? The guy Gray. Yeah, he's worth something. But all the rest, wow, man.
They'll be in trouble.
It shows you how football changes because the striker, Calvin, they was talking of him of like being the next
that's true.
thingy, and look at him now. Do you know what I mean? You can't take a man seriously dress up as a skirt anyway.
Oh, yeah, it's mad.
Gibbs White, yeah, he played for Watford. That's right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a good player.
Bingy agrees it with Peters as well. That's what I'm sure Bingy said that last week as well.
Cool.
He said Madison, Barnes, and Tiddy. No Forest players.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we're on the same page.
We need to get Bingy on the show one day.
Yeah.
Big shouts goes out to our sponsored global mapping surveys. You can catch them on all the W's, globalmappingsurveys.co.uk. And if you mention the Cop Talk, you will get a discount. Okay. Before we go, Bingy says, "Yep, I'm with you, Con. I want Dediton gone." Yeah, I would love that as well. I absolutely would love that. Gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been a blast. Remember, peoples, right back here next week, same time, same place. Again, it's all about Cop Talk. Con, thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you, Artie. Thank you.
No problem. Stoney?
Yeah, thank you very much, Artie, for hosting this show once again. And thanks, Con, for joining us and everybody tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And that's one thing before Artie just takes back over. Bingy, we miss you on the show. If you're able to communicate with Artie privately, we'd love to have you back on and joining us on the show here, brother.
For real. Oh, yeah. And Stoney, do me a favor, please. Give my love to Mr. B, man.
I'm definitely going to be doing that. Believe me. 100%.
Feel his pain. I'll feel his pain, I tell you. I'll tell you what, listen, I've never been so happy, man. He's like, why are you so happy? Your team's not even playing. I said, yeah, you don't understand. Don't worry. Don't worry. Things like this make me smile. Trust me. All right, my peoples. Good night and God bless.